everybody. Welcome to an impromptu chat and craft. So I'm going to move my camera here just a little bit now that I can orient everything. And I have no idea if anyone's going to show up or not. This is just kind of spur of the moment. So what I'm doing tonight, I've created a little pocket here. It's hard to see, but so it's got a little stuffed pocket. It's a denim pocket that I decorated up, and I'm making a tassel for it, a beaded tassel. So I thought I would just pop on here and kind of create this live. So if anybody joins in, great. If not, by the end of this, I should have a tassel made. So I'll just quietly create here until somebody joins in, or if somebody joins in. I think I want to put bigger beads at the top here, so just kind of playing around with, like I said, I was not anything planned, just kind of jumped on here. So I'm picking these bigger beads for the top so that I can go through the beads a few more times. So I found this little hat here. It's a polymer clay hat, and I thought I'd make a cute focal bead for the tassel. And then I've anchored it with a couple of these faceted round beads. So I do have a video on making tassels. That's not what this is really, but I'm just gonna keep going here. And the idea is I'm going to add this tassel onto the ribbon over here. Kind of let it hang from there. Hi, Vicki. Thanks for joining me. I thought I was here by myself. It was just kind of a last minute thought to jump on here while I made a tassel. So how are you doing? Hey, Chiquita, how you doing? So I've been sick and I'm just now kind of getting back to doing things. So don't you like my technique here? Scoop, scoop. So I thought I'd make this little tassel to go with this little pocket that I made. So I made a little Christmas pocket. Finally getting in the Christmas spirit over here. Takes me a while. But I need a tassel for it. And I have a pink one, but I don't want to make it pink because there's a lot of red in this. So this little hat was an earring, and it had a couple little beads hanging out the bottom, and it was just a little earring. My friend gave it to me, and so I repurposed it. So thought that was a fun way to use it. And then I have, these are also from vintage earrings, and I don't wear, I'm not a holiday theme jewelry wearer, so I thought, well, I'll just put those on there at the bottom. I thought they'd be really cute. So we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully it will turn out cute. I'm glad you guys are chatting, getting to know each other. Sorry, I'm counting too, so it's supposed to be random, so you're not supposed to count, but well, you know how that goes. Sometimes I just I count because I've crocheted too, so I count all my stitches when I crochet. And yeah, beadwork's the same way. Usually if there's a pattern, of course, you have to count and make and keep track, but hey Joni, welcome. So yeah, I'm just making a tassel here to go with a little thing I made tonight, and I thought, well, I'll pop on, see if anybody joins me. Oh, and look, I have a knot first thing. That's so funny. Hold on a minute. Hope I cut the right thread. If not, we'll start over. I don't think I'm good at this. That's okay. Oh, that's right. It snows now, doesn't it? Forgot. I'm glad you guys are chatting among yourselves because I'm kind of a boring host, I think. As I get started here. So yeah, I live at the Oregon coast, so not a whole lot of snow here. We do get it sometimes, but not a whole lot. We get lots of wind and lots of rain. Gonna go through the chats here just for a minute so I can see what we're talking about. Yeah, we've had nice weather the last couple days. It's really cold in the mornings and then it gets really nice in the afternoon, and then we go back to cold at night. So it's been fun. But I think since I've lived here, it's snowed. I've lived here 25 years. I think it's snowed maybe 5 times, I'm going to say. You know, that I would call snow. I used to live in Utah and I know what snow is, but what they call snow here, I call frost. So, oh man, these shiny ones are hard to see where the hole's at. So sometimes I like to put, you know, a whole row of the same color. I think it gives a nice look to the dangle. Oh, quite a bit. Okay. I'm just going away here. I'm thinking I'm by myself still. Don't mind me. Talk among yourselves. So you got to kind of get even numbers. Well, not even, but the same number on each side of the bottom bead if you're making it a turnaround. So there's 9 there. And then sometimes I got to make sure because these beads are bigger. So if there's, you know, if there were 2 of these, I might put another bead in there. But that should be pretty even. And lots of people commented last time I did beadwork was like, oh, that looks super easy. And it's like, well, I do go up through the beads quite quickly here, but I have done this for over 40 years, so don't expect if you're going to try this to slide the needle right up through the beads like that. Takes a lot of practice. I spent a lot of time doing one bead at a time. So getting that all together there. So as you can see, each dangle will have 2 threads through it at least, and then the top will have a whole bunch of threads as that's the turnaround spot. So I think that's turning out kind of cute there. Yeah, so what have you guys been up to? Are you able to get in and do some crafting? Or it's kind of a weird time of year, for me anyway. I work for a painting company, as you guys might know, a house painting company. And so this time of year is kind of strange. We get a whole bunch of people calling, especially here at the Oregon coast, and they want to have, it starts to rain and they realize their house doesn't look good, or they're here on vacation because they have a vacation home or a second home. We have a lot of short-term rentals. So the people that own them will spend this time of the year coming over to their home, and then they realize, oh, it doesn't look good. Or, we get a lot of people calling up and saying, oh, hey, you're at my neighbor's house. Can you come over and paint my trim while you're here? And it's like, well, the people that we're painting next door got on our schedule last year. So I get to be the bearer of bad news and add people to wait lists and things like that. So, but it's kind of a weird time of year. You get calls like that, and then there's this kind of strange lull between now and just before Thanksgiving. Then they start to realize, oh, we're having people come over and we need to have the inside of our house freshened up. So a couple weeks here, I'll start getting those kind of calls. And we have a crew, so, we can accommodate people, but it just never ceases to amaze me. People are procrastinators by nature, right? I mean, here I am just starting my first Christmas craft. But I think this is turning out really cute. And I have another hat like this from the other earring. So I think I'm liking how that's kind of turning out. Well, Joni, you should try beading. I I learned from my mom a long time ago and quite enjoy it. She my mom's in her 80s. I won't say how old, but she still does beadwork, so we get together once in a while. Photo albums. See, look at that. I don't think anybody who crafts really does one craft, right? I don't know. Maybe. I've never met anybody like that. I'm going to put another little tree on here. All right, so we've got 5. Yeah, concentrating, I'm sorry. So my grandson and his parents are out at a trunk or treat in the next town over. They went to one here in our little town. They actually had one this year of our own, but he has cousins up in the next town over, so they went up there. The little beads I'm using, they are size 11 or 12. So I kind of just mix up whatever I have. That's how I tend to make my tassels. Otherwise, I get too set on counting and having, I wouldn't get this randomness. I would be more likely to count. So I try not to do that. But mostly I use size 11 and 12. So with beads, the higher the number, the smaller the bead. And then these green ones are, I think they're size 8. And not sure about the gold ones. They were in a package with I had some red that I already mixed up with the gold, so I just added some green in there for this particular tassel. I have a lot more beads here, obviously, than I'm going to need, but it's kind of how it goes. I think I'm going to do another set of some green here, like I did with that red. I have those green over here, so I try to balance, but not perfectly. Maybe I'll put let's see here. I'm thinking. Sorry. So yeah, my grandson, he was a little fireman for Halloween, and he went to town, and they went and stopped at the fire station, and they let him sit inside the fire truck. So he was so excited about that. He's 3. He just turned 3, so he was super excited and came home and told me about it in his little way. He doesn't talk much, but he has his own way of communicating with everybody. So he came home and told us all about it in his own words and his own sign language that he's made up. I told him he's the cutest fireman I ever saw. All right, slide these beads down so I can get the needle up in there. I don't know if that's going to work. We're going to see here. Oh, yeah. That's so cute. Okay. Go up through here. So I'm glad some of you guys were able to join me tonight. Maybe if I planned these a little better, I'd have a little more fun. But then again, that'd be that many more people hearing me be a little crazy. So I made a lot of the things in here. I had this paper pack here, and then I had some things up here that you'll see this in an upcoming video, but had some things that Dawn gifted me. You guys know Dawn Orahood. She's one of the artists in my shop, so we meet up once in a while because she lives over here too. And so we met up here a couple weeks ago, and she gave me a whole pack of Christmas stuff, which is cool because I didn't have a whole lot of Christmas stuff. I'm going to kind of balance with some more red over here, I think. Maybe just 3. I either do 3 or 5 is my tendency, just because, you know how the odd thing. That little hat, I'm just loving that. Glad I have 2. So I am going to be having a special coming up in my shop, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. And it'll be exciting for people who are supporting the artist in my shop. Appreciate everybody on our new adventure here, right? I think I'm going to go a little longer on this one. Maybe like that. Maybe a little longer even. Sorry, I'm talking to myself here. You have friends today. You have to talk to your friends. All right, so put 7 on here. I don't want that big one. As you can tell, beading is very relaxing for me. It's something I tend to go to when I'm stuck in a rut or just want to do something that's doesn't require me to think too much, although I am thinking, but when I'm by myself, it's just something I can do and I love to do. So, and then I also do beadwork with my mom, so go to her house and we'll do that together. She's making ornaments right now. She makes little tiny mini ornaments and beads around, like glass ornaments, and she does beadwork around them. But she's also been concentrating on skeletons and pumpkins. So all right, I think I'm going to put one more on here. And I think right over here. Yeah, seed beads, size 11 and 12, mostly. And then, like I said, those green ones, I think those are size 8. And I pulled out some little wood ones too, but I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling more blingy, Christmassy. Another question I got asked is what size thread do I use? And on this one, oh, it doesn't have a thing on there. I took it off, but it's a size B. So I use that. Oh, I'm sorry, no, size A, because that way it's going to go through the beads a little bit easier. And I use Nymo thread. I know a lot of beaders now don't like that, but it's what my mom taught me on. And this is an older cone that I have. I have, oh, I don't know, probably 3 cones. And when they start out, they're quite large, like this with the thread. And then, I just use it forever and ever. And I guess they've kind of changed their thread now. And a lot of the beaders don't like it, but I haven't had a problem with it. So I just use that because that's kind of what my mom taught me with. So go with what you know. I think I'm going to put one more tree on there. Oh yeah, I'm a scooper. Yeah, I used to do the little, there's two ways you can get them on there. You can put the needle on one side and kind of pop it down toward the mat, and that'll pop them on there, or you can just scoop. And the reason I started scooping, I used to be the kind that would always pop them on there, but I started scooping because when I started to do things random, um, I started out doing very structured beadwork. So you have to count, and there's a pattern, and everything has to line up, and the beads have to be very uniform. And so I was always being super picky. And then I found that I was counting the beads, and so I just threw them all in a pile and then decided I'm just going to scoop because I didn't want to, be too non-random. And that helped me kind of come out of that mode. So now when I go back to like loom work or brick stitch or something, I have to count my stitches and line up my pattern and make sure my beads are the same. Oh, but yeah, my mom, she's written books on beadwork, so she's got 4 published books on how-to bead books. They're all on brick stitch, so it's kind of where my background comes from. All right, let's see how many we have on here. This is getting, oh yeah, it's getting good. All right, so now I gotta come back down through here, and I go through a couple of beads. Again, like I said, you're not gonna, your first time doing this or 20th time or 100th time, you're not gonna be getting those beads on there quite like that. You're gonna get knots where you don't want them. You're gonna scoop the beads, the needle's gonna go in here and the beads are gonna flip up. So it's all part of learning. And then I'm just going to cut this off here. Get over there. All right, now let me thread my needle, rather needle my thread, because that's much easier to needle your thread than thread your needle. There we go. Make sure we don't go down the same path. There we go. Yeah, so Vicky, is that what you used with those dragon journals that you made, that you sent to me? On the cover there, was that resin? Because I had people asking me and I was not knowing. All right, so with that, I have a completed tassel. Good. I'm glad I inspired somebody. You can do it. All right. right, so there is my little tassel. And I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's good because I like an odd number. And let me scoop these up, put them away, and then I'm going to put that on my project here. I've done that a few times too, right? Put my needle away so I don't lose it. I use tulip needles, and they are quite expensive, so I don't want to lose those. Oh, okay, good. That's good to know, Vicki. Then in the future I can say that. I think I'm going to get a different pin here, or bulb pin. Yeah, that'll be great. Then I'll know when I see those again that that's what you used. That's great. You probably wrote that in the notes and I just didn't read it, right? Let me scoop all these over here. See if I have something I can put them in. In my craft room. Where is something I can put something in? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm digging. When in doubt, baggy. So these little pearls are all different colors because I didn't want to pick through them, and I have them mixed up because I dropped the bin and they went everywhere. So when I picked them up, they all got in together. So that's that story. It's a sad and true story. All right, so here we've got that all done. And let's bring this back over here. Pick you up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Thanks so much for sticking with me, guys. Appreciate that. And then my thought was this will just go right on here. And there it is. I like it. So now I might make another one. Let's see if I have anything close to me since I wasn't planning this. I know, I think it turned out really cute. I like how it has just that little bit of bling. And I like how it has the kind of old with the vintage earring with the new shiny beads. I don't know, I kind of like that. So I guess I could go through this, and then hubby's waiting for dinner, so I told him I'd just be long enough to make the tassel. But anyway, so I'll go through this whole thing. How's that? And then we can say we had fun. So of course we have the tassel you guys just helped me make. I have this ribbon tied around it here, just tied around. So the idea is you get this little packet, you make a very simple journal, you put all the ephemera in it, you have this to tie it off with, and then you have the beaded element for the tassel, for the spine. So I just made a little pocket here. I made a couple of ephemera pieces to go in it. Night, Vicki. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. I made these here on the back. Again, most of this ephemera stuff was from meeting up with Dawn. Like this was on there, a little piece that she had. That little journal card comes out. And then she had partially decorated this CD cover. I put this little cluster on there. And then she had decorated this little guy, and she had gifted me this. So I just put all that together there. And then this I covered with red lace, put a little card on there. Dawn had started this card. She had this on here and this. So I did my little drawing on there and then covered the back in coffee dyed paper. And then I made this big tag that has little tags on it that can come off. And again, covered on the back, and then a journal spot on the front. And then this is just a denim pocket. On the back, I clipped on these 3 tags that can be used however. And then they just all pop back in there. So be a fun happy mail or something like that is how I use those. Yo, 3 o'clock in the morning. Girl, what are you doing up? I know, I wake up then too, so. I mean, my time. We should have a craft at the coast. I did that last year. We had a crafting here at the Oregon coast, and we rented a short-term rental and had 5 days together. It was so much fun. We had a whole table just full of stuff that we were put out there. Everybody had to bring a gallon bag and just put everything out, and everybody grabbed whatever they wanted. We just created. We didn't have any set things we were doing. We were just kind of making stuff, and it was a lot of fun. So everybody wants to do it again. It's kind of, vacation rentals are kind of a lot, so we did it in the winter time. But it was a lot of fun, and I definitely want to do it again. And then we made all our meals and everything, so everything was there. We went out once and ate, but other than that, we stayed and crafted the entire time, and it was so much fun. I loved it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little project. Hardest part for me is figuring out how much lace I need on something. You guys ever have that issue? All right, just so there we go. Put this all back together. So I think I'll be going now, but you guys, thanks so much for helping me joining in with me and helping me make this tassel, and be watching for this item in my shop. I'll have it for sale here pretty soon. And I have an upcoming video with some items from Dawn, and then we're back to a couple more journals. I've got a few more to show, I think, that are Christmas. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're going to be, of course, doing that. I do ask all artists to continue to share on your social media, my page, my YouTube channel, so that people can get the idea of what we're doing and where we're at and where they can find your work. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Thank you, Joni and Vicky and Chiquita. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And you guys have a great night or day, whatever it is for you. Thanks.